Hi there, this is Justin Turner presenting my Week 6 final project for the Java unit of Promeneo Tech's Backend Bootcamp. So let me share my screen with you. Share. Okay, and let's take a look at the code that I wrote. So we were asked to simulate the card game War by implementing 3 Java classes, one for a card, one for a player, and one for a deck. So let's take a look at that. Here's the card class. It contains 2 private fields representing the card's name and value. We use getters and setters to access those fields and set the values for those fields. And it has one public method, describe, which simply prints the name and the value to the output stream. Then we have the deck class, which is essentially a class wrapped around a list of card. And it contains some static fields that I used in the constructor to have every new instance of deck be a general, deck of playing cards. It has a few public methods, shuffle, which is just invoking collections.shuffle on the list of card, and then draw, which takes the card at the first index of the list of card, removes that card from the list, and then returns it. Okay, then we have the player class. There's a few fields in player, such as their name, a list of card that represents their hand, and their integer score. Okay, we have a describe method that tells us, using an iterator, what each of their cards in their hand is, invoking the card.describe method to do so on each card in their hand. Okay, there's also the draw method, which just invokes the deck's draw method, essentially. So it takes a deck as a parameter and then invokes draw on that deck. And then it adds the returned card object to their list of card called the hand, right? Called their hand. Okay, and then we have the flip method, which takes the card at position 0 of their hand, removes it and returns it. And then we have increment score, which just increases their score. So finally, we have a driver class called app that makes all these things work together. So I'm going to run app. Okay, I did use a scanner to have the user provide custom names to the players. So we'll pick my 2 favorite Deep Space Nine characters. Okay, so it just initializes 2 players with those names, the main method here. It then initializes a new deck and shuffles it. And the initialization of deck, the constructor actually takes care of the logic of assigning names and values to all the cards going into its list of card. Okay, then we iterate through the deck, have each player take turns drawing cards to their hand. And then we iterate through half the size of the deck, because now each player has half the deck. And we execute the game's logic. So during each iteration, each player flips a card. The code compares the values of the cards that were flipped with card.getValue. And then it decides who the winner is and prints that information to the output stream. And it also prints the player's current scores. Once all iterations have finished, then it compares the scores of both players and declares a winner, and then prints that to the output stream. That's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.